We're the parents, we're in charge, and what we say is what it is. I mean, you're not going to get us to go to 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to stay at 1, maybe 2. But we really tried to figure out ways that we can still do what we need to do, and they know what we're talking about. So I know as they grow, we got to learn how to let go and let them learn on their own.
Welcome today to the Island Connection. I'm your host, Corey, and I have this amazing couple, this wonderful couple. If y'all want to know about love, y'all want to know about relationships and how to stay in love for over 30-some years, these are the people right here. But we ain't talking about that today. We're going to talk about parenting. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Hello, y'all.
Hey.
How y'all doing today?
How you doing?
Y'all good?
Doing good.
Okay.
Good.
I was like, y'all look a little tired.
Yeah.
They good.
We're parents.
Life is,
Okay. Life.
yeah, parents.
How long y'all been parents?
21 years.
21 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. How old is your oldest?
He's 21.
21.
Yes.
And the young is?
She's 16.
16. Okay. Did y'all have a conversation on how you would raise your kids before you had them?
A little bit. Not a real detailed conversation, but we talked about what school we wanted them to go to and being involved as parents at the school. We wanted to make sure we limited TV. We tried to make sure education was a priority. We wanted that's one thing that we really wanted to focus on.
Gotcha.
And we wanted them to play sports. I didn't play sports, so I wanted them
All right.
to
Were you a
be involved.
cheerleader?
No, I didn't do anything. I was in the choir and band, but I didn't play
Oh,
sports.
okay. Because I know you have a pretty voice.
No.
I just remember you singing in the choir, but I thought
Yes,
you
in
were
high school.
cheerleader.
No.
Wow.
No.
Okay. You were in sports?
I did. I played football in middle school. Tried out for football in high school, but I was like, nah, I'd just rather chill.
Oh,
So I
okay.
didn't do it.
So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as they begin to grow up, there are challenges.
Yes.
And I think every parent can agree that there's challenges because I have challenges. How do you deal with, I don't know because they always talk about how your kids they all have different personalities. So did you guys ever experience one a little bit more rebellious than the other? And how do you balance that out amongst the 3 kids?
Okay. Yes. There's
Yes.
one that is more rebellious than the other.
Yes.
You love him.
I think his middle name is Rebellious. I think it's, no, it's
I mean, they all have
I'm
some
just
rebellion in them, but
Yeah.
one more than other. I think we had to focus on, and we still focusing on the one, but trying to make sure we spread out, how do you say it? I don't want to say discipline, but don't make it so much about him, because even though it may be negative, experience with him, or it may be negative, what am I trying to say? Affection or whatever. We don't want it to be so focused on him or them, and where we lose sight of what's going on with everybody else.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it seems like some parents, they always say, because that attention is more on that child, you think that that's where the favoritism lies. And that's not necessarily
he
true,
has
is
even
it?
said that. He said that I know I'm your favorite mama.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
So do the other kids think the same way?
I don't think so. And they think the oldest is the favorite.
Oh.
Yes, like the youngest one thinks that the oldest is the favorite. I don't think the oldest really
He don't
care.
He don't care about neither one.
Right.
I never heard
it
him
is.
say,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
never really expressed.
I think he may say, well, the youngest one may get away with a little bit more, but I don't think it really phases him as much.
Wow, okay. So how do you deal with the rebellion part, especially when because I know in today's culture, it's totally different, like how we used to, it's one word. My mama, that song, Only a Look, it's a hymnal, y'all.
Right.
My mama will look,
Yes.
Yeah.
and we would be like, okay, we would straighten up. But it ain't like that today. So how do you deal with these kids that are so rebellious now?
Praying.
I think it depends on your child. I think you have to know your child. And I think that's one thing as parents that we have a hard time doing is taking the time to learn our child. Because we just, what's the thing? We just react to action. We react to react, but we don't learn. So like she said, our oldest has his own rebellion. I call it quiet rebellion. He's very quiet. He don't say much.
Yeah.
He just rebels.
Yeah.
The other one is verbal, physical. He's
just
out
let you
there.
know.
He's just gonna let you know. So
Yeah.
you have to learn how to discipline both of them. Because if I try to discipline the oldest one like the middle one, it's not gonna work because he's quiet. So we have conversations. The other one, we do have conversations, but they're a little more extreme because that's the way he is. So I think what we've done, we've tried to learn our kids, not just discipline them. We discipline them through learning who they are, what works and what doesn't work.
And see, I just realized this just last night. This is for real.
Okay.
I was talking to my middle daughter, and you know she's getting ready to move out, get her own place or whatever. So
Okay.
we started talking because we were having, I'm having different issues with my children, and she said the same thing. She was like, "I think it's important for you to learn each one of us." And so for me, I thought I was trying to do it differently by not show favoritism because I grew up knowing who was the favorite in the family, and I didn't want any of my kids to experience that. So I thought the way I should discipline them is by the way I talk to one person, I just talk to them. And that's not the case at all. You can't do it. And I thought, man, so to hear you say you have to learn each child, that's something I didn't do.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Well, just now doing because I'm learning with the middle to be quiet because when if I keep on, it makes me more frustrated.
Yeah.
And so I've learned even through text message, if I just say, okay, he cannot stand it. He knows that he's in the wrong, or he like, okay, wait a minute, mom's quiet.
Yeah.
She's not saying anything. She's saying okay, or she just likes my message. And he said, wait a minute, let me back up. And usually I get an apology.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is it immediate or it just kind of takes on?
It's like 5 text minutes. Just keeps on, and then, well, Mama, I didn't really mean it like that. He's apologizing, and I just said, okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
And what we found, well, now I'm just saying for us, not every parent, I'm just saying for us, what we found is that works. It really works, and it really puts the responsibility back on them.
You mean the silent treatment?
Yes, because we let them know that you're not getting to us.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? You're not getting to it because we're the parents, we're in charge, and what we say is what it is. I mean, you're not going to get us to go to 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to stay at 1, maybe 2, but you're not going to affect it. Yeah, we're still, I mean, we have our moments like every parent.
Yeah.
But we really tried to figure out ways that we can still do what we need to do, and they know what we're talking about. So I know as they grow, we got to learn how to let go and let them learn on their own. Some of us been having a hard time with that.
That's tough. That is
I want to fix
tough.
it. I want to help them fix it, and
because you can enable them. Is what I've learned that.
Yeah.
So
they don't like responsibility. They hate that, and but that's just part of life.
Yeah.
It's just part of life.
And I think that's that tough love they talk about. And see, I'm not. I realize, the struggle is real. Like I was telling them before we had this footage that my sisters always say that I'm like her because I'm very sensitive. But that tough love thing is real. And then I feel like kids are so intelligent. Like they know your buttons.
Oh, they know.
Yes.
And they will punch. They ain't gonna just push it, they punch. They knock it down. And then trying to, for most parents, we struggle with that. And then I think for me personally, when I think about how I was raised, and you see things, it's like, I don't want my kids being but we do way too much for the kids.
Well,
most definitely.
And that's part of it because we don't want them to experience what we experience. But then if they don't experience what we experienced, then they don't grow up like we grow up.
Yeah.
So I still remember, it don't even come on no more. D.L. Hughley, he had a show.
Yes.
I remember the episode he had when he was trying to teach his kids, I grew up like this and I grew up like that. And his wife was like, they're not going to get it because they haven't grown up like that. I remember one time she asked us, did they have color TV when y'all grew up? You think we 90? Right. But
black and white.
But they're growing up with technology. They're growing up with, the internet. They're growing up with all these apps. So they don't know. So even though we try to tell them how we grew up, they have no conception. Kind of like I don't have any conception of growing up in the 60s.
Right.
The race and all. I don't know what that's like. So they don't know. And going back to what you said a minute ago, tough love is not always physical love. Tough love is just standing on your ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're standing on your morals and your values. That's tough. Like, kids want you to move to the left or move to the right. No, I'm not moving. That's tough love. I feel.
Wow. Okay.
And my struggle with that is because there's so much out there in the world that they're facing. You have teen suicide. You have them leaving their families, and I get afraid. Like, if I push too much, I'm gonna lose them, and I gotta stop doing that. I struggle with that. Really, that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember we were at a Mexican restaurant, and I'll never forget. There was something, and I'm not gonna say verbatim of what you said, but you literally told me, like, it's never meant for parents to be a certain way because of the way your kids react. Like, we should never be. I think you were what I took from it is that you should just not be moved by all the punches that they give, like the rebellion and all that stuff. Don't let it stress you. It's never meant for parents to be stressed out about stuff like that. But like you said, just stand your ground.
Yeah. And that makes and they don't like that. They don't like it. But I mean, it's just part of them growing up. I think I would like my sons to know that they have a father that stands on his morals. Like, this is what I believe. This is what we're gonna do. And if you don't like it, then hey man, this world is beautiful out there. You go experience it.
Yeah.
And my door's always open when you're ready to come back.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so what? There are a lot of kids that are influenced. Of course, we talk about social media, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that in your home?
I'm gonna go first,
Okay,
and I'm gonna
okay.
let her go.
Okay.
For me, I encourage them to listen, because then I want them to come to me.
For questions.
Yes.
Okay.
I want you to go listen to that. I want you. It's kind of like, because I'm going to biblically. It's kind of like the queen that comes and looks at everything that I'm just drawing this blank. What's his name? David's son. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Solomon.
Yeah.
She came and looked at Solomon and all the things. She said, I heard so much about you and I had to come and look for myself. So when she came and he really told her the real, she was like, oh, cool, I get it now. But even though she didn't accept his God, she understood what he stood for. So when I tell my daughter all the time, listen to them people on social media, because you need to know. But after you hear it, come to me. That's the only thing I ask. Just come to me, and then me and you can have a discussion, and then I'm going to show you the truth.
Okay.
Because what do they say when you're trying to, counterfeiters, right? They say you study the real thing so you'll know the fake thing. Don't study the fake, study the real.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
I think the more we say, well, don't listen to that. They're gonna be curious and like, oh, well, let me find out why.
Yeah.
My parents don't want me to hear about this, and she does. Or no, she will. I heard this on TikTok, and we'll have a discussion about it. It's like, well, this is what the word says, or if that's not real, or whatever it's about, and then she can have both sides, and understand, okay, you're right.
So have you guys ever had your kids to come to you about, as far as, because you guys are faith, Bible, walking believers, that they question their faith?
I think
I don't think we've ever had anybody to question their faith. have we?
just
Had questions about
the faith,
not
yes.
question their
Yeah.
faith.
Mhm.
Okay, they hadn't
And those
questioned
two.
their faith, but they had questions to you about
Yes,
the faith.
yes. And you know, my thing is that we try to set the foundation, but at the end of the day, they gonna make their own choice. But I just always say, just make sure you study both sides. Don't just believe one side. I say study Christianity and then study all this other stuff that too, and find out which one is true. I say, because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to make your own decision. But as for me in my house,
That's it.
you go
That's
do
how I am.
you go do what you want to do outside the doors, but in
We
here,
gonna serve the
that's,
Lord.
yeah, that's what we gonna do here.
Right.
And I don't want to disrespect what your choice is. But
Right.
as long as you're living here, this is what we're gonna do.
Gotcha.
Question, I don't care. I think it's bad when kids don't ask questions about their faith. Ask me stuff about the Bible because you need to know.
Yeah.
You need to be educated on it.
You really, really do. And how society is now, man, this culture is, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
I say, quit listening to them TikTok theologians.
Yes.
Those don't even go to nobody's church.
Exactly. And then they're telling you how you should live and how, Jesus wasn't real and all this, the King James Version. I get that so many times. Like, you don't know who wrote the King James Version. You don't know. And I was like, you know what? I don't have a lot of answers, but I know I have a lot of experiences
Right.
with my relationship with God.
That's it.
And
It's
that,
about your
to me,
relationship.
is far more than, what y'all talking about.
but that's true. But this day and age, you gotta have some knowledge because they not gonna go off of that. 'Cause
Right.
We, even our ancestors, they lived off of straight faith.
They did.
Them jokers ain't know how to read nothing.
Even slaves.
Yeah, just straight faith. But this generation, no, you better come
You better
with some
know,
answers.
yes.
You
And
better
that's
know
what
who
I'm
wrote
learning
King
now.
James.
Right.
You better know who wrote that joke because they gonna tell you. They gonna tell
Because
you.
we're becoming real lazy. That's when I realized. I was like, man, I'm lazy. Because I just grew up in the faith and you just believe by faith. But I was like, I didn't really. Until they start, well, who did this? Who did that? And I was like,
I don't know. I just
I was
believe.
like, yeah.
I just know what I feel now.
Right. So yeah, they come with it.
So what you do with Maxwell make you feel the same way.
Right.
I ain't never thought about that.
Like my oldest daughter, I did tell her because she was asking me, how do you know God is real? And I told her, I was like, well, she was married at one time, and I was like, if someone came to you and told you, like, he ain't who he said he is, he this, he that. I said, would you believe him? She was like, no. I said, why? She said, because that was my husband. I knew how he was. And I said, that's the same thing with it when you have a relationship with Christ.
Right.
You just know him.
Right.
Ain't nobody tell you what he's not because you know who he is in your life.
Right.
And she was like, okay, well, I'll look into that.
I'll look into
It's still, and she searched all types of religion, been in, Muslim, all of that. And she said that, she's still on the side of believing Jesus Christ because, but she compares that to, she said, our culture accepts all other religions except for the word, that's where all the questions and all that come from. So that's why she said she's still kind of leaning on the side that she still believes that Jesus is Lord.
Right.
So
Because they don't have to commit to the other religion. You don't have to have a relationship. You can just do what you want to do. And it's not like this. With Jesus, it's like I have to submit myself to something that I can't see. I have to give my heart. But the other stuff, I don't have to. I don't have to do that. Okay.
Yeah. Just be good.
Yeah, just be good. Be a good person.
Just be a good person. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay, so I do have to ask, as far as, because, they're going through school or whatever, how do you deal with the different influences? Have you dealt with that with your kids where they come home and they wanted to be something that they're not? There's a little...
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
And I know you deal with a lot of kids.
Well, we did have one situation, and we just said, I believe in talking. I just believe in it. I just think once you start raising your voice and screaming and hollering,
It doesn't help.
Nothing helps. I just think let's just talk. So let's talk this thing through. One thing I'll never do, and I'll never deny you your feelings. I'll never deny that.
Okay.
You may be feeling that way, cool, yeah, but your feelings need to wait till you get out of this house.
Got it. Okay.
They just need to wait till you leave. I like because right now we're your parents. We still paying all your bills. We're still taking care of you. Let your feelings be your feelings when you leave. I mean, give us the 18 years, that we ain't wrestling with you. And then secondly, we know our kids enough to say this. We know where that's coming from, and we're finna stop that right now.
Wow.
And we did. We stopped it, and once we stopped that feeling went away.
So even because so that's the other thing. Because I'm not confrontational.
Right.
But you seem to be very confrontational.
Yeah.
Just have just sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah.
So how do you lead those conversations? Because sometimes those conversations may not go out the way.
Well, our oldest, when he was, I think he was like 16 or he may be turning 17 at the time. We were sitting here at the table, and there was something that was going on, and he and I started, and he got mad, and he started running upstairs. And I said, hold on. I said, now you have two choices. And he said, what's that? I said, well, one, you can run on upstairs, then I'm going to treat you like a child. I said, or you can sit at this table and talk to me like an adult, and we can settle this problem. I said, you can choose which one you want. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to you. Yeah, you know what he did?
What?
He came back and sat at the table.
Wow.
I said, because if you run upstairs and act like a child, I'm going to treat you like a child, which means I'm going to cut stuff off. I'm going to tell you what to do, what you can't. I said, but that's not what you want. You're 17. Like, dude, come on. You trying to be a man.
Yeah.
That's manhood, learning how to have those hard conversations.
Wow.
And he's better at it with Megan. And I might start crying.
I know, but see, I'd be in tears. And I'd be like, why? What is it? How can we fix it?
Man, but that's to me, I'm just saying for me, and I think for her, my wife too, is that, man, that's the beauty of parenting. Like, we're just learning how to be a parent, how to be a better parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just it.
And I think the beauty too is the fact that you have that balance, because you seem more stern and you're emotional, but it's like y'all can piggyback off each other.
Yes.
Like sometimes I think you may need to be a little softer and shit. She like, Michael.
Yeah, she really gonna be back in.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, because even with how he talks to the boys. I said, you can't talk to our daughter the same way.
Yeah.
You can't come in the house and say, hey, and they're fine.
Right.
With her, it's like, you're not gonna hurt me.
Right.
So he had to learn that. Like, when she's talking to you, she needs your undivided attention. She wants you to hang on her every word.
That's
Boys
the daddy's
like,
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm hanging on their every word.
Right.
I'm just like, what? Oh, what happened to that? Oh, you did. Oh, that's amazing. And they're like, okay, mama.
Right. Like you being dramatic.
Yeah. I just had to
Not that serious, right?
That's crucial.
But going back to what you said about the situation where they were influenced, and we knew that it was an influence. It was a temporary, just in the ear, and that they really weren't feeling that way.
Yeah.
And immediately turned around. It was just like when we addressed it and to handle it the way it was a complete turnaround.
And I didn't deny. I said, hey, if that's how you feeling, I can't tell you not to feel that way because that's the way you feel.
Yeah.
But we also know where that feeling's coming from too.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, how you know? I said, don't worry about it. That number's gonna be blocked. And no more
We just gonna keep moving. Just move it on.
Yeah. You know, and we've dealt with some other stuff, and I just think just those conversations, just helping them realize what they're doing wrong. They have to realize what they're doing wrong, because we can't point it out. We can say it all day, but they have to come to a realization what they're doing wrong, and we just kind of have walked them to that, up to that point.
That's good, because I think now I'm just still learning how to just be on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like I told my middle daughter, I said, look, I'm just on the sideline. Whenever y'all need anything, y'all can come to me, we'll handle it, but I'm not trying to fix. And I think that's the issue with most parents. We try to fix everything, and like you said, just have the conversation. But it sounds like too, Michael, that you're saying just kind of allow them to think on their own after you have the conversation.
Yes.
Like they have, you know, they can think on their own. They'll be like, okay, this is what Dad said, so I have the option to listen and weigh my options at this point. Because you don't ever say, this is how it is. You know, I'm the man. You don't do none of that.
I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
That foundation's already been set. And I think when you were saying, like, these kids are just, you know, they just so crazy. Well, that comes from parenting.
Right.
They're like that because of the parenting, because you didn't do it from the beginning, from the get-go.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, you can read as many books as you want to. You just pick and choose what you want to out of those books. And I think one of the things we picked was that when they were young, like when they were like, 5 and 6, you know, we take them to the doctor. You need to tell the doctor what's wrong. Like,
You're not feeling good.
If
You know,
tell
they're a
them what's
little
wrong,
older.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
just,
can't, you know, say, I'm like throwing this
Right.
They'll just say, I'm not feeling good. And it was like, well, where? You know, don't look at me. No, tell her.
You've allowed them to have a voice.
Yeah. Or even if we go out to eat, I'm not ordering your food for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, you read the menu, you tell the waitress what you want. Like, you're 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm not ordering for you. You order your own food. So we really just set that foundation that we have conversations, we talk, you stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And we're still working on that.
Yeah, we are.
A voice for themselves. And I just think just the society. It's just
it's society. You're right. And I think, you know, when they do make bad choices, you just hey, okay, what did this choice do for you? How did it help you? And then how did it destroy you? And you got to look at both sides. Don't just look at one side. We try to help them to look at both sides. If you want to keep going down this road, go ahead. But you know what's going to happen to you if you do. And when it does happen to you, don't look for us to rescue you. Because we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
We'll love you.
Yeah, we'll love you. But we're not going to do it. Because I know our oldest be like, if I get arrested, go to jail. No, that's my middle. If I get arrested, because he ain't doing it. If I get arrested, go to jail, you not going to bail us out? No.
And I'm thinking,
No.
No,
I'm not. Because we taught you what's right and wrong. And if you choose to do the wrong thing, that's on you.
wow.
that's hard.
It's hard.
That's real hard.
Well, it's not hard because it's hard because you made a choice to get yourself in that situation, and then I'm sitting here thinking, my baby's in an environment that we didn't raise them to be in,
Right.
and it's just that's hard because I want to protect them. I don't want to bother them, but then I want you to learn your lesson.
Right.
too. But I just pray that.
That's me.
You never put me in that
You're
situation.
right. You're right. And it shocked me. This one lady I talked to, she was an older lady. She's like, I think she's close to 80. But she talked about her son, and her son was like 30-something years old at the time. And she said he chose to get out there and do what he did. And she said he got locked up. And she said it was like 1 a.m. in the morning. She got a phone call, and she said hello. She said she still to this day roll her hair up with the pink rollers. And she said, she was like, hello. And he was like, hey, I got locked up. Can you come down? She was like, She said, what you calling me for? And he was like, I need out. She said, I can't remember what she said, but she was like, I'm not coming. Essentially, she wasn't coming.
Right.
And so she hung up the phone, and it's like she said that he called and called and called. She said she just literally pulled her out the wall. And she said, I didn't tell him no more. She said, because I told him, if you get in trouble, that's on you.
That's right.
But she was like, because I didn't raise you the way you need. She said, you know right from wrong. If you want to do that, you just go ahead. She said, but I can't allow myself to be all stressed out about it.
That's right.
And then she said, I got Sunday school in the morning. She was teaching. She was a Sunday school teacher. So she
I gotta get up in the morning.
and she said she didn't see him for a whole week. And she said one of his friends ended up bailing him out. And he came home. And she was like, you know, she said he was like yelling or whatever, talking about, you know, I was hoping you'd be there or whatever. And she said, I'll always be there for you.
Right.
She said, but I told you, if you lock yourself up, don't call me.
I did answer the phone when you
She wasn't moving at all. And I was like, and I was just looking at her like, and she was like, close your mouth, baby. She said,
that would be hard. Or hopefully, I mean, if they're in
Yeah.
there and there's something that they didn't do, mistaken idea, you know, like, and we're gonna find out.
That's
But if you
different.
in there acting a fool,
Yes.
that's.
But see, that's the freedom. That's freedom.
Yeah.
That's your freedom to make your choice.
Wow.
That's your
They
freedom.
That's
have the
true.
freedom to make their choice.
That's right. You have the freedom.
Yeah.
And then don't get mad at me when I choose my choice. My choice is not to come get you. Now don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
Because you chose to go do what you did. I didn't say nothing. So now don't get mad at me when I choose not to come get you.
So how do you? Because I know you talk with a lot of youth, and you're a youth minister, right? I get it mixed up. Some people say
she looking at me
like he was.
I didn't know he was.
My bad. We gonna scratch that.
Where you been all these
She
nights?
ain't heard the holler. She like, who is a youth minister?
No,
Like,
I was thinking about your job now, but I mean, you still minister. I mean, yeah, you still.
Well, you impact
yeah, I do
a lot of you.
Yeah.
Not minister.
Boy, now you
impact a lot of
You sure you married? Because she don't know that dude.
After 30-some years. Okay.
I was just thinking about your job, but I forget you do that at church. You do it at church, yes. You
Yes, I do. Yeah. Let's just say yes.
So, what do you think where do you think parents are dropping the ball, and where do you think the kids are dropping the ball in today's culture? I know this ain't nothing that I'm still throwing out the door, but
I would say communication. I mean, because, you know, like I tell my kids, is like, when y'all come home and the first thing y'all do is go upstairs. You go upstairs, you close your door, and you're on your phones. So who are you building a relationship with? The people on the phone.
that's good. Yeah.
So now when you come downstairs, you haven't built a relationship with us. So now the first thing you say is, Mom and Dad, y'all just don't know me no more. Y'all done changed. Oh, no. You changed because you built your relationship upstairs and not with us. So instead of getting mad, we try to figure out ways to create conversations, communication. You know, I know my kids will change. Let's go back to what we said earlier. Learn your kids. Don't just assume that they're who they are. You change. You're not the same person you were 5 years ago.
Right.
I guarantee you're not the same person.
Yeah.
My kids are not the same in 5 years. I'm not the same in 5 years. So if we don't learn each other, we'll just always constantly be bumping heads.
God.
So, you know, like I said, you know, they're going to be influenced like we were influenced. But if we're not talking, then that influence takes first stage.
Yeah.
I also think what we were just talking about, trying to give our children what we didn't have. And we don't realize we're doing it, but everybody I've talked to, whether you're 60, 70, you want your child to have more. And I've been in a situation where I was at the library and I've heard young parents, and this gentle parenting has just become a big thing. And I remember being that parent going, are you sharing? You need to let your, and letting them make the decision. No, I want that toy. Well, you can have it for 5 minutes, and then you need to let your brother have it. No, give me the toy. And, you know, but I mean that's. But I hear that, and it almost makes me cringe because I used to be the same way. How do we talk to our friends? You want them to be good people. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying we're constantly tiptoeing and making sure that they're happy, not having a meltdown.
Yeah.
Like, you know, about the third child, she would have a meltdown in the store. Like, okay, well, I'm walking away. When you're ready and get up, but the first child, oh no, the floor is dirty. You need to get to come here. You know, it's just because it's just the way we're living in the society. It's not communicating with our kids. It's not hands-on. It's just give them what they want because we didn't have it. And my middle one said that. I said they were upset because there wasn't what they want to hear to eat. And I said, there's potatoes. You can cut up potatoes, make your own fries. I remember coming home, and if I was hungry, I opened up a can of,
exactly.
And I said, when I was growing up, I said, well, why would you make me do what you did when you was growing up?
You would say it to me. Right. You would say it.
Right.
Yeah, they got the right one. I wish you would say it.
No, and he wouldn't be.
I can say he was being
It's just like, why would you make me go through that? And it's just, we didn't realize that we were being taught and being parented. We're well, go ahead and Uber Eats, or
And I think that's what we miss as parents, is that what happened to us when we were younger is who made us who we are. And I think when we're parenting, we forget that. Like, even though it was tough for us, but it made us who we are. And so now, if you take that away and don't give that to our kids, you get what you got now. They don't want to hear no. They throwing a fit. Tearing up stuff. You know? Well, wait a minute. We have to give them both. Like, it's okay. Like she said, we'll be like, there's food in the house. Well, it ain't what I want. That's okay. You can go to bed hungry. It's okay.
It's a choice.
It's your choice. She'd be like, well, they don't like, I'm gonna make 2 dinners. No, you ain't.
That's it.
You make it one. Right. And if they don't want to eat it,
and I for a long
they
time
don't
I
have
was
to.
making 2.
You don't have to eat it.
And I still remember doing that. They were in elementary. Well, the youngest one was in preschool, and he stopped me from making. And I said, well, what are they going to eat? They don't like that vegetable. They don't like. And I remember that child walking up the steps, not eating dinner, and it broke my heart. I was like, I'm going to make him a peanut butter sandwich. She says, no, you're not. And that stopped it. From now on, they still do like, oh, you cook that, okay, but they're older now. But I thought it was gonna just, he's gonna be starved. He's not gonna have a good day at school.
And they ain't gonna die. They just fasted.
Right.
They ain't even fasting. They just
Like snacks. Yeah.
That's all it was. And now they don't want to eat. They don't. Go buy your own food.
Yep.
That's what they'll do.
I had
She
to put
cook,
that down.
and they don't like what she cooked. Go spend your money.
Got options. Wow. Okay, that's helped a whole lot. Understanding, parenting, learning your child.
Oh, man.
And how would you say from a parent to begin to learn their child? Just listening to them, or just
listening?
How do you start a conversation?
I wish I could tell you the website, but I can't remember it offhand. But there's a website that really helps you with that conversation with your kids.
Oh, really?
But to me, I think you just talk to them. Just talk to them. I'm gonna say it again. Just talk to them.
And I don't accept, like, our daughter spends a lot of time with me because I'm at her school. Like, well, how was your day? It was good. But no, how was that class? Or did you take that test today? Or get into a deep conversation instead of just accepting. It was fine. And then it just starts spewing.
So they don't ever get tired of like,
well, sometimes, but I had to also learn the time. Cut it back because morning time is not a good time to discuss something that needs to be done later. So I'm like, okay, the afternoon is a better time to discuss. Because the mornings when the middle one was riding with me, we would every morning because did not want to talk in the morning. I had to say, and I'm like, I'm just asking you a simple question. Okay, you know what? I'm not asking you right now. We'll talk about it later at dinner or something. But tell me how you're feeling about, well, how's this going? Because the youngest one was having an issue with other people, and we're talking about that. How's that going? And also understanding that making that person feel like, what are you doing in this situation that could have prevented this? Like, it's not always taking their side either, because sometimes it's you. Just all and getting the whole story. Let's get the whole story and talk. I think we talk.
And asking open-ended questions, not closed, like not one answer questions. Like she said, instead of saying, "How was school today?" Good, doing they gone. But now, what y'all do at school today? Or like I love the fact that like if they're having issues and problems, we try to get them to see both sides. You know, so, and just talk those things through.
Yeah, if the
So,
teacher said this, what were you doing
exactly.
before the teacher said this? And then, oh, okay. Well, let's talk about how you could have done that differently.
That's
yeah.
good.
So just, I think, I'm sure there's things that we still don't hear, but I feel blessed that she and I talk.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah,
Have you guys ever had to apologize to your kids?
Yes, and I can do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do it
That's
all
what
the
I said.
time.
I own it.
I do it all the time. And it helps them to own it.
Got it.
It helps them to understand that that's family. You know, I think one thing for us, we really push, we are a family. We're not individuals. We are a family. We can go down that road. If you got time, I will tell real snippet. One of my oldest, this is when some of his quiet rebellion and he was like, well, you know, Daddy, that's my room. I said, well, I know it's your room, but you know, so he said, but I could do what I want to do in my room. I said, okay, so is that where we going? But you really want to go there?
Your house.
Yeah. I said, but it's my house. I said, your room is in my house. So what we gonna do? Because you can't walk through my house to get to your room. So what we gonna do? I said, so even if you get to your room, I'm gonna turn off my air, my water, my electricity. So we could either do that, or we could say, this is our house. Which one do you want?
Yeah.
You choose. Freedom to choose, right?
Yeah.
You choose.
Yep.
I think I'd rather have it as our house. Exactly. Because we're our family. We're not individuals.
Yeah.
We're a family. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. And that's where you asked, I think, owning it. Like, I'm going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You're going to make mistakes. But that's what we are. We're a family.
Yeah.
We help each other through these moments. And if we can't, then we are going to have problems. But I'd rather not do that. But that comes with the foundation, though. You got to start that early.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you deal with quietness when they don't want to talk to you because they upset? Y'all going through days without not speaking to each other. How do you deal with that? Yeah, I've never had to deal with that.
Days. It could be hours, and I've gotten better with handling that. Now if you leave the house and I haven't talked to you,
and you don't say goodbye, I love you.
But I'll send a text, and usually, even if they're mad, I'm still gonna get an "I love you" back.
That's good.
It's been. I don't think it's ever been a time. Maybe a few times that I don't hear a response, and I'm just getting to the point. I'm getting older.
That things that carry on from my grandparents that we don't think about spiritually that's still wrestling with today. Yeah, you can do all the parenting you want, but you better be on your knees praying, breaking some spirits, that really care. Because I can see it in our kids. Like, if I don't pray for them, and really say, not mine, it could take over.